Today for New Music Monday, we're going to look at the new release from the Johnny Cash estate, and the album is called Out Among the Stars. Now, I need to start this review by saying in most cases, I am not in favor of any posthumous releases from any artist. I personally think it's wrong. That is to say, while I'm a massive Johnny Cash fan, these tapes were never really lost or forgotten about or anything like that. They were in a storage unit that during his life he was well aware of, and he made the conscious decision to never release this album and a number of others. By that, I'm saying there's probably a very good reason that he didn't release these songs during his lifetime, but I'm gonna go ahead and believe John Carter Cash that this is not a cash grab, and that over the last 20-some years of his life, his father was just too busy with other things to formally release this record. Now, what this album is completed recordings that were slated for Columbia Records in 1981. But at the time, while it may be hard to believe, the label had really no interest in Johnny Cash and they didn't know how to package him anymore. The reality was, in 1981, country had pretty much gone rhinestone and pop style, and Johnny Cash was happy still being the man in black. So basically, he recorded the record, he brought it to Columbia, they put it on the back burner, and it eventually went to the back of this storage unit where it's been since, well, the late 80s. Now, the best part of this album is that you get two unheard duets with June Carter Cash, and both of them sound phenomenal on this album. As for me, those two voices combined to make one of the greatest sounds ever captured on tape. You also have an appearance from Waylon Jennings on a different song, and when you get Johnny Cash and Waylon Jennings talking about trains going down the tracks, music just doesn't get much better than that. The fact of the matter is, on almost every song, without wanting to be cliche, it's kind of vintage Johnny Cash in every way possible. From the great sound on the slide guitar to the power that was still in Cash's voice at that time, since these were slated for official release, they are perfectly recorded. And it's really a throwback to those wonderful pre-Rick Rubin years for Johnny Cash. There are powerful, upbeat songs that show Johnny still in his vocal and writing prime, as well as a contrast from those brilliantly heartbreaking songs that only Johnny Cash could do. And for me, it's the vocal he brings to the song After All that reminds you nobody can sing quite like Johnny Cash. At the same time, when you listen to this record and consider it in the time context, you understand why Columbia just didn't know what to do with this album. And some people like me might argue that this is one of those records that show exactly why the big label started to collapse in about 1985. Personally, the songs After All and If I Told You Who I Was are definitely my favorites on this album, and they're definitely strong additions to the already amazing Johnny Cash catalog. I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that all of you have massive Johnny Cash collections already, and I'm telling you, this one needs to be in it. However, if you're not well versed in Johnny Cash music, which is a bit of a problem to begin with, this actually isn't a good place to start. This is more of a collection of deep cuts and definitely something for completists, so if you've never heard Johnny Cash before, get your act together, go get Folsom Prison, and start there. But for everybody else, this is definitely one you're gonna wanna hear, and on the buy it or borrow it, Out Among the Stars is a strong buy it. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope you dug it. If you did, go ahead and click subscribe, leave a comment, click like, whatever you wanna do. You can follow me on Twitter and Facebook right here, and I'll see you guys again next time.